Welcome back to my channel. I am back with another review. This review is for Baddies Gone Wild, Dominican Republic, and this is the season finale, so let's just get right into it. So the baddies finally end up making it home after fighting on the yacht with Natalie and YK Nice for a few hours, and when they pulled up to the house, obviously they had Team A and Team B on two different sprinters because if they put them all on the same sprinter, they're all going to be fighting the whole time. So when they finally arrived to the house, the fighting was far from over because obviously we know that before they ended up leaving the place where they were on the yacht, Milani and Dava ended up getting into it, and then Lauren and Becky ended up getting into it. So soon as they got back to the house, Milani runs off the bus and she ends up attacking Dava. And the thing is she's only trying to get at Dava because she's embarrassed that she got kicked in front of Natalie and YK Nice. I feel like she was trying to show off in front of them when they were on the yacht, but she ended up getting humbled when she tried to fight Dava, and Dava ended up kicking her to the ground. So Dava and Milani end up fighting, and honestly, this wasn't really a fight. Neither one of them got to do anything, and when Dava swung, her arm ended up giving out. So I just feel like Dava cannot fight no more because she's completely injured. Both of her legs are injured, both arms are injured. I don't want to see this girl fight anymore. But I'm sorry, Milani was getting on my nerves because she was just being so loud and trying to draw all the attention to herself. And I'm sorry, I don't know if she thinks that because she's the loudest one, she's the baddest, but to me, sometimes the loudest bitch in the room is the weakest one. But Becky and Marie end up going into the confessional, and they're talking about Lauren, calling her scary and making it seem like she's a bad friend because she didn't end up getting off the bus. When she saw all the commotion that was going on, she shut the door to the sprinter and told them to lock it because she didn't want to come out. And I don't think that that makes her scary. She fought all the girls on Team B for the most part, and she whooped them all too, so I just don't understand why they're trying to make it seem like she's scary. No, she's just been fighting the whole season, and all of them have been ganging up on her, so she probably doesn't want to deal with that again. So I don't feel like she was wrong for shutting herself on the sprinter. I just don't. I mean, it's not like the girls on Team A have had her back. The only ones that have had her back is Dava and mainly Baby Tyson. Everybody else has done absolutely nothing, so why should she do anything for them? Becky's talking about she has something for Lauren, and I feel like Becky is a little bit upset because she got humbled a little bit by Lauren when they fought on the yacht because Lauren was getting her, and I feel like all the girls hyped up Becky so much to make it seem like she can whoop everybody, and she just was not able to whoop Lauren. But the next day, Lauren and Baby Tyson were talking, and they're reminiscing about how they started off not liking each other. They were fighting the whole first episode of the season, but they ended up clicking up, and the two of them got really close. So I enjoyed watching the two of them go from not liking each other to being the closest ones in the house. I really like that. I'm glad that they're cool, and I hope that they stay cool. But Baby Tyson ended up asking Lauren during this conversation if she feels like they linked up with the wrong girls, meaning she doesn't know if linking up with the rest of the girls from Team A was a good idea because none of them have had their backs. And Lauren was kind of being nice about it. She said that she likes all the girls on Team A, but she feels like they don't really get in the paint. And I completely agree. I feel like there was potential there for the girls on Team A, but they just did not want to get in there. They were acting scary. They were acting like they didn't want to have any alliances with anybody. And to me, that put me off a little bit. Kutta K, G Baby, and Lulu, they were a disappointment to me this season. I'm not gonna lie, they were very disappointing. More so Kutta K and G Baby because Lulu did get in the paint and fight a little bit, but her constant comments that she doesn't want Lauren to think that she owes her any loyalty was kind of off-putting to me, so I don't know how to feel about Lulu either. But all of Team B end up getting together before the dinner, and they're all hugging and talking about how much they love each other, and honestly, this did not move me one bit because I didn't really like the girls on Team B. The one thing I will say is that they stood 10 toes down for each other and they rode for each other, and I wish that Team A would have moved that way because I liked them better, but they didn't. So I will give Team B the fact that they had each other's back. But Naz starts addressing Marie because she's saying that she heard that Marie was saying that she used the N-word. And Naz is saying that she never used the N-word, but Marie is saying that she heard that Naz said that she felt like she could use the N-word because she's of Moroccan descent, but she said that she never said that, and Sam's saying that Leandra was actually the one who made that comment. So Marie does end up apologizing to Naz. I never heard Naz say the N-word. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. Maybe Leandra heard her say it. I can't put that on her because I didn't hear it myself. But this is not the first time that Leandra has been caught saying something about somebody and then it ends up getting back to the person that she said it about, because we know that same thing happened with Lauren and her earlier in this season. Naz did say that she was talking to Maria about what she is, and she said that she's half Moroccan and half Persian, and that Leandra told her that she can't say the N-word then, and Naz said that she never said it. So I don't know about this. If you know what actually happened, let me know in the comments, because I don't remember anything about this ever coming up except for this episode. Team Team A is also gathered up together having shots with each other and talking about the experience. And honestly, I had high hopes for Team A, but the only ones from Team A I really like is Lauren and Baby Tyson and sometimes Dava. But Kutta K starts addressing Dava, saying that she doesn't like that when Dava's mad, she says fuck everybody and then tries to apologize the next day. And I can understand why Kutta K would be annoyed by that, but it was kind of off-putting for her to say that that's partly why she didn't have their backs when Team B would try to attack them, because of the things that Dava would say, like fuck everybody. And to me, that was a cop-out, because Kutta K really just doesn't want to get in the paint and fight because she got humbled by Becky earlier in the season. Because she was with the shits in the first few episodes, but when Becky beat her ass the way that she did and gave her that big black eye, something changed in her. The personality got beaten out of her and she became scared. So to me, she was definitely a disappointment this season. Because I honestly do feel like if Becky wouldn't have whooped her the way that she did and gave her that big black eye, I feel like Kutta K would have gotten in the paint, but because that happened, she just didn't. But Natalie and YK Niece end up showing up and they start talking to Team B first. And Team B was really getting under my skin because they ended up pulling out this bag and it's a bunch of stuff for Lauren's cat. And they started pulling out soap and vitamins and wipes, saying that she needs those things to make sure that her cat doesn't smell. And honestly, that was lame to me, especially because they're women too. And they're using this against Lauren, even though it was said that it wasn't even true. Leandra just made that up. So I don't like that they're doing this. And that's why I feel like Lauren was justified when she whooped Leandra, because Leandra saying what she said about Lauren is something that was used against her this whole season. And honestly, Natalie did not seem impressed at all by these girls pulling out this stuff for Lauren's cat. She ended up going into the house and telling Lauren all about it, and YK Niece ended up getting on her knees and sniffing Lauren's cat, and she says that the rumors are not true, that Lauren does not smell, but we already know that. We already knew that that was made up. I don't understand why they're making this a whole storyline for the season, but it's old now. But they all end up sitting down at the table with Natalie and YK Niece for the final dinner, and I knew that dinner was not going to be eaten. Like, I actually felt really bad for the chefs because they cooked all that food only for it to go to waste. Because as soon as they all sat down at the table, Natalie ends up asking them about the beds in the pool. And I mean, we know that Baby Tyson was the one who threw the beds in the pool, but Milani is constantly trying to be the loudest person in the room, and she's trying to show off and impress Natalie and YK Niece. And honestly, I feel like they're getting a little bit annoyed by her, but she starts saying that she beat Baby Tyson's ass for the beds being put in the pool. And I'm a little bit confused as to when she whooped Baby Tyson. I mean, she did overpower Baby Tyson a couple of times in their fights, but a whoop was not had, so I don't understand why she's trying to make it seem like she just beat Baby Tyson down when that never happened. So Milani and Baby Tyson are going back and forth at the dinner table, and then they're getting ready to fight with each other, but Natalie stops them, and I understand that she didn't want them to fight at that moment, but dinner was not going to be had anyway. But then Milani brings Lauren into it, saying that Lauren's scared of Becky, and I'm confused as to why she thinks Lauren's afraid of Becky, because she just worked her in last week's episode, so how is she afraid? I feel like the girls on Team B kind of back Becky a little bit too much and hype her up too much about her fighting skills, and that's why when she ended up fighting Lauren in last week's episode, she got a little quiet after it because she ended up getting humbled because she did not whoop Lauren the way that she whooped the other girls this season. I feel so bad for the chefs though who cooked this food, because as soon as the food gets brought to the table, Milani picks up food and throws it at Baby Tyson, and the two of them start fighting with each other, and I'm like, damn, at least you guys could have ate first and then started fighting. But I don't understand why Zeus even decided to do this, because they know what happened on Baddies Africa when they tried to sit the girls down for breakfast and then all the plates and forks started flying everywhere. I think they should have known that was going to happen in this situation too. Baby Tyson and Milani start fighting with each other, and obviously Milani was able to overpower Baby Tyson because Baby Tyson is small and she's shorter than her, so she's able to do that. I feel like the girls constantly make fun of her because she's always putting her head down in a fight, but a lot of the girls that she fights also grab her by the head because of the fact that she's shorter than them, so they use that as a way to, you know, overpower her in a fight. And I'm sorry, isn't Baby Tyson like 4 foot something? She's like 4'8" or something, so to me, you don't get cool points for beating somebody that small. But everybody's yelling, screaming, and arguing, and all of a sudden, Lauren picks up a whole plate of food and she throws it at Becky, so Becky throws an entire plate at Lauren and the shit breaks. There's glass all over the place, and I'm like, damn, Lauren probably shouldn't have thrown a whole plate because now there's glass everywhere, and she's the one who ended up getting cut up from the glass. And this is why I can't really rock with the girls on Team B, because they do entirely too much, because it's one thing to have your friends back, and then it's another thing to tag team somebody as small as Baby Tyson, because after Milani and Baby Tyson finished fighting, Alana just sneaks her out of nowhere, which was pointless to do, because Alana has already whooped Baby Tyson a couple of times, so why do that to her? Then Naz finally ends up calling out Leandra for saying that she said the N-word, and Leandra's claiming that she never said that, but I can't really trust some of the things that Leandra says because I feel like she's a little bit of a schemer. I feel like that's what she is. I don't think Naz just pulled that out of thin air that Leandra was the one that said that, so I just feel like Leandra probably did say something, but Naz ends up throwing water at Leandra, probably thinking that Leandra wasn't going to do anything, but Leandra hopped up out of her seat and she was getting in there with Naz. Like, she won the fight to me. She won both rounds. They fought 2 rounds, and to me, Leandra won both. Granted, Naz is not really a fighter and she's easy to beat, but Leandra still got in there, so I respect her for that. She definitely didn't do that when it came to Lauren, though, because she knew she was going to get dog walked if she did that to Lauren. But Lauren has a huge, deep cut on her leg. Her leg was bleeding a lot, and she's in the other room crying, getting her leg cleaned up and wrapped. And Becky, Marie, and Alana try to run in there and fight her while she's getting her leg wrapped up, and to me, that was lame. But I love the fact that Baby Tyson ran in there and she was trying to run the fades with them so that Lauren could finish getting her leg wrapped up. Baby Tyson to me is a real one because Baby Tyson's over there fighting all of those girls from Team B, and then Lauren ends up hopping up out of her seat and she just starts working all of them. One by one, she starts fighting them. She fought Alana, she fought Milani, she fought Becky. She was just in there with all of them real quick while her leg was still getting wrapped up. And Milani tried to take her lying ass in there to tell Natalie and YK Niece that Becky was in there whooping Lauren, but Natalie checked her real quick and said that she saw Lauren getting in there with them. So I feel like, that didn't really work out in Milani's favor. She was trying to do too much to impress Natalie, and it seemed like she didn't really impress her at all. What's crazy is that Team B was laughing and jumping around talking about they got bitches leaking, but they didn't actually get anybody leaking from hitting them. They got them leaking because they threw a plate and the glass ended up cutting Lauren on the leg. This was not bleeding from somebody hitting her in the face. One thing that I didn't like, though, is that when Natalie and YK Niece were talking to Lauren said that she fought all those girls by herself, even though Baby Tyson was right there fighting side by side with her in this episode. So I kind of don't like that she didn't acknowledge that Baby Tyson had her back, but she did admit that Baby Tyson had her back earlier in the episode when her and Baby Tyson was talking, and she did give Baby Tyson her props for having her back in her confessional. So I feel like we can overlook this situation. Now, Natalie and YK Niece end up sitting all the baddies down at the table so they can give out the Baddies Gone Wild chains, but before they can give out the chains, security ended up taking off, Baby Tyson's bonnet and taking out a sock filled with rocks because she probably felt like she needed to use that on those girls because they kept jumping them, but I think that's crazy. I thought that was kind of funny too, that security just did that in front of everybody. But Natalie ends up giving the first chain to Lauren, and I agree with that. I feel like Lauren definitely should have gotten the first chain. I was glad that she got it. I think she deserved it, and I think she knew that she was going to get it because to me, Lauren and Baby Tyson carried this season. Without them, I don't think this season would have been what it was. I did not agree with Milani getting the second chain, but I do understand why she got a chain because she was a big part of this season. She did fight a lot. She was involved in all of the drama, and so I do understand her getting one. I just don't feel like the order of how she got it should have been the second one. Baby Tyson ends up getting the third chain, which I agree with, although I do feel like Baby Tyson should have gotten the second chain, but she still got her chain nonetheless, so I was happy about it. YK Niece ends up asking the girls who they think the fourth chain should go to, and Becky, Alana, and Dava were all named as people who should have gotten a chain, but the chain ends up going to Becky, and I honestly do agree that Becky should have gotten a chain, so I feel like it was right for her to get one. But Natalie does announce that she has one more chain left, but she brings in Biggie to give out the final chain, and I don't agree with that because Biggie admitted on social media that she didn't even watch this season, so she doesn't really know who deserves a chain and who doesn't, but it was between Marie and Dava, and if we're talking about between Marie and Dava, I definitely think that Dava should have been the one to get the chain. I don't know why Biggie gave the chain to Marie. Maybe it's because she's another big girl and she wanted to give that to her, but I just don't agree with Marie getting the chain. Honestly, I would have given the chain to Alana over giving it to Marie because I feel like Alana did more than Marie did this season, but hey, Marie got the chain. It is what it is. I'll say this though, I thought this was a pretty good season. Honestly, I liked this season a lot more than I liked the first season. This was a good one. So let me know what you guys thought about this episode and this season as a whole down in the comment section, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video.